Hey, you're watching That Random Geeky Guy. Hey guys, and thank you very much for joining us for this video. Today we are doing a budget build with everything that you see in front of us. So I say we because this is Chloe. Chloe, say hello.
Hello.
So Chloe is joining me because this PC is actually going to be for her and she's going to be building it and you guys are here to watch. So Chloe, how many PCs have you built before?
No.
Cool. Do you have absolutely any idea what you're doing at all?
No.
Okay. Brilliant. So I'm going to be talking Chloe through this step by step so she can actually get this all put together. It is built with a combination of new and used parts. The idea is that, as we said before, it's a budget build. Now, it's not your typical budget build where somebody just grabs a Dell Optimax and sticks a GPU in it and calls that a gaming PC. This is a combination of parts that's designed to be future-proof. So we're using, for example, DDR4 RAM rather than DDR3. And whilst the GPU is definitely an older GPU, it's quite easy to upgrade in the future. Hopefully, it doesn't mean it's a dead-end product. It means that if Chloe really gets into this, she can upgrade it and do more if she wants to. So let's get the table clear and let's start building. So we're going to start, we've got the motherboard here on the cheapest form of motherboard stand, which is the box it came in. And we've got the processor ready for Chloe to put in. It's an i5-6500, which has a base clock of 3.2 gigahertz. Okay, so any ideas what you're doing?
No.
Okay, so here is the CPU socket. Now, this is an LGA socket. What that means is that on the bottom of the processor, you've got loads of little pads, and these connect up with pins that are in the socket. Some processors, you'll find it's the other way around, in that there's pads or kind of holes in the socket, and you've got pins on the bottom of the processor. So that's how this one works. So see that little handle there?
Yeah.
Whilst holding the motherboard so it doesn't move, if you push that handle down slightly and then move it towards me, you'll see it will pop out of its holder. Bit of pressure, don't worry, you're not going to break it. Famous last words. Lift that up. Okay, so that's now unlocked the socket. And then when we lift the socket up like so, this little plastic thing here is a cover, which will automatically pop off. Under here, you'll see all of those pins that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And here is your processor. So you'll notice on the edge of the processor there's a little gold triangle.
Yeah.
In here, in the bottom right here, you'll also see there's another triangle, which is the shape of the corner of the pins. Now, what you need to do is very gently place that into this, and you'll notice there's a couple of notches at the top of the processor that line up with notches on the side here. Now, I say gently, because if you kind of mash it in, you can bend some pins. So this is one of the most difficult parts of the build to start with, which I'm sure you're going to love. So let me give you this, and off you go. That's it. No pressure at all. Just drop it in. I think your hand's shaking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, almost. So just bring this side back up at the top here. Just tap it backwards. That's it. Okay. Just make sure it's in. It is. So now all you need to do is that piece that we lifted up before, if you put that back down and pull this pin back so it goes underneath that screw. And now you're going to do the opposite in reverse. So you're going to push it down and hook it back underneath there without your hand on top. You have to just hold the motherboard. So what will happen is it's going to be quite hard, and then all of a sudden that black thing will pop off. There we go. And then this will come straight off. And you've successfully fitted your first ever processor. Was it that difficult?
No.
Okay, fab. All right. Let me get the RAM, and we can move on to the RAM. Right, so next up, as I said, we're doing the RAM. So we've got some Corsair Vengeance 3200 megahertz. We've got two 8 gig DIMMs, so a 16 gig kit. The motherboard here is a H110 from ASUS. So it's only got 2 RAM slots, so it's important that we populate it with what I think we can all agree right now is the best for a gaming rig of 16 gig. Nice and easy, shouldn't be any need to upgrade in the future. Chloe, over to you. So you've got this long slot here. Because there's only 2 and we're populating them both, it doesn't matter which one you put it in to begin with, but it's probably going to be easier if you do the one closest to you. You need to make sure this little notch here is lined up with the notch that's in there. Pop it in from this end first, just slightly, and then this end, and push down till it clicks. Most important thing is just making sure you line it up in the gaps. Okay, and push on both sides. That's it, keep going. That's one side done, just need to do this side now. Perfect. There you go. You've officially put one RAM stick in. Let's do the other one. Awesome. Just like that, you've installed 16 gig of RAM. So processor's down, the RAM's down. What do you reckon we do next?
Don't know.
You have no idea at all?
No idea.
Okay, so the processor needs to be cooled. So we've got a cooler that we're going to pop on there. So for you, we've got this one here, which is from a company called Be Quiet. They make some really good coolers, which I'm sure you guys will agree. And it's the Pure Rock Slims. It's just one of their small coolers. Let us get this unpackaged and we'll be right back with you. Right, okay, so making sure all these parts worked, I did do a test fit of this build prior to the video. Sorry about that, Chloe, I just needed to make sure it actually worked. But as a result of that, the pre-applied thermal paste that comes on the Be Quiet cooler obviously has been used and I've cleaned it off. So it also, though, gives Chloe the opportunity to apply some thermal paste. So it's an MX4 thermal compound. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is this metal element here, which is the heat spreader, that is on your processor, you need to put a kind of a rice-sized piece of this thermal paste across the middle there. Now, too little's not great, too much doesn't make too much of a difference, but can be quite messy. So try and get it right, but don't worry if you don't, because we can always fix it. So what I'll do is I will give you this. So it works just like a syringe. Get down close to it with a nozzle and then just push on the ends and just see how kind of viscous it is and how hard it comes out. So just gently keep adding more pressure until you get the desired amount on there.
In the middle or on the side?
Right in the middle, because when we put this down on top, it's going to actually spread that all out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, before you do it, I'm just going to grab a close-up shot for the guys so they can see the technique. Okay. There we go. A little bit more than that. That's it. Super. Now you need to try and wrap that around the end because it's mucky stuff. Brilliant. Fantastic. So that's the thermal paste on. Sorry for getting my phone in there. I just wanted to get you guys that close-up shot of Chloe doing the thermal paste. Okay, so on the cooler you've got these fins which will dissipate heat, and then you've got these heat pipes which brings the heat up from the processor there up to these fins, and then you've got this fan on the side which will blow cool air through it as well. Now when this sits into the computer, most of our cool air is going to be coming in through the front, so we need this fan to be facing the front to continue to draw that out of the back. Now it's really simple to fit this one on. You've got 4 little retaining clips here and 4 holes in the motherboard there.
Yeah.
All we need to do is pop that on, line it up, push it down slightly and push on each of these until they clip into place.
Okay.
Simple and easy, huh?
Yeah.
Good luck. Now, I would suggest to do them in a diagonal. So if you're going to do that one first, clip that one in, then do the opposite corner. That's going to give it a bit more of a universal mounting pressure rather than going in a clockwise or anti-clockwise way.
How do you clip them? Just twist it.
So, push. That's that one done. Same again on this one. Now, this one's a bit more difficult to get to because the fan's already on. So you've got to try and get underneath it. There you go. That's that one. And then same on the opposite ones. Fab. One more to go. So this is one that's going to be difficult for you now, isn't it? I didn't make it any easier by putting the fan on already. Did you get it?
No, not quite.
Let's have a look. You did. You did it. Yes. So that's all done. Cooler is on. So the next stage for us, I think, is to get this build into the case. We'll be back right with you once we've got the case out of the packaging and show you the next steps. Okay, Chloe, so this is your case. What do you think?
It's very nice, very white.
Very white, yeah, it goes with the theme. So the theme is white and pink, and that will become a bit more obvious later in the video. But we're now at the next stage of the build. So we need to remove the glass side panel here. So this is tempered glass, but actually as part of it, you've got thumb screws all the way around the outside. So I'll just pop these off and give them to you so you can keep them safe there. So you can just carry on putting them across there. There we go. Now, some people choose to build with the PC case stood upright. Some people lay it down. We're going to make it a bit easier for you and lay it down. Okay, let's see if we can get this out without breaking it. There we go, and we'll pop that over here back in the box to keep it safe. Awesome. Okay, so while we're here, we'll also remove this other side panel, which has thumb screws on the back. Our reason for that is being able to access cable management when we start building this. There we go, so let's take that off as well. Place that down there, which I'll probably knock over in a bit, and then lay this down. So, let me talk you around the case. So the motherboard that we've just put together is going to go in here. All of these connectors that you see, which we've just got to undo, all of these connectors are what's called your front panel connectors. So all of this stuff on the front, including USB ports and your on and off switch and reset switch, they all are fed by this cable. So we'll pull those out of the way. Okay, so it is all about now fitting that, or that should I say, into here. Off you go. Okay, so there's one thing we need to do before we actually put it in, which I almost forgot as well. So give me a sec, I'll just go and grab that and I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so you're all probably ready for a good laugh. The thing I forgot was the I/O shield. I thought it'd be a bit unfair on Chloe on her very first ever build to build it all and then need to say, oh, we didn't put the I/O shield in, so we've got to take it all back apart. So, yeah, sorry about that. I'll pop this in to make up for it. So popping in an I/O shield just goes into the gap that you can see in the back of the case. Push it in at the top to clip in. Same again at the bottom. Make sure it's all nice and firm, and it's good. Now it's over to you. It's about putting the board into the case here. Before we do that, we will actually just quickly plug in the CPU cooler. Saves you having to kind of fiddle around in there after to try and get that in. And just manage that cable under there for now. Okay, go for it. You need to line up those ports with that I/O shield that we've just put in, and that will mean that those gold standoffs that are already in there will line up with the holes in the motherboard. Oh, look at that. Straight in. Brilliant. Okay, so you'll notice through these holes now you can see those gold standoffs.
Yeah.
So in this little baggie that came with it, we should find some screws that we can use to get this screwed in. Okay, so Chloe, while I'm finding these screws, what have you done with gaming so far? Do you do any console gaming or anything like that?
Occasionally.
What console have you been playing?
Xbox 360.
360?
Yeah.
Oh, some classic gaming.
Yeah.
What games do you play?
GTA, bit of Call of Duty now and again.
Okay, so which GTA?
GTA 5.
Okay, but on 360?
Yeah.
Fab. Awesome, okay. So what games are you looking forward to playing on this?
CSGO.
CSGO, brilliant, okay. So, yes, this will be fine for CSGO, no problem at all. Okay, so we've got our iFixit toolkit here and a screwdriver to get these in. Here we've got, not that, we've got the screws that you're going to use now to screw down the motherboard. With this particular size of motherboard, we've got 4 screw holes. So you've got one here,
Yeah.
one opposite here, one at the top there, and one at the top there. So I will do the first one for you to get us started, and then it's over to you to get the other ones done. Okay, so first screw in by me is done. That's for you. There's another screw there.
Thank you.
Maybe try the top left first. That looks like probably the most difficult one to get to, so it's always a great place to start. You're welcome, by the way. Can you see where it's going?
Yeah. It's big hands.
So the motherboard's in. Next up, we're going to do the PSU so that it's in here and it's ready to go with all of the other components. So we're actually just going to get that in, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, guys. So the power supply is in. We've got the massive cables, which we're going to have to deal with later. Have you heard of cable management?
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got some cable management to do in a bit as well. I want to show you what else is going to be going into this build. So we've also got yet to go in a nice little custom sleeved cable, which we'll show you once that's in. We've got a hard drive, which is for the games library, and a big pack, naturally, of RGB fans, which also need to go in. We have got the GPU. Now the GPU is an interesting one. So it's a 750 Ti, and this particular one was actually black and red, so it's an MSI one, but it doesn't fit the colour of the build being black and red, so it has been custom painted white by my fair hand, ready to go in. Other than that then, we've just got obviously remainder of the cabling, and we've also got an SSD as well for the boot drive. So we're going to get the boring stuff in, and then we'll bring you guys back once that's done so we can start going through the boot phase.
2 hours later.
Okay, so that was a mission. You missed the cable management. It was mayhem. It wasn't easy, was it? At all. We got cuts and blisters and so on and so forth. Whilst this is an exceptionally good value case and it's okay to build in general, cable management, definite challenge. There's a bit of side bulge going on here. But it's in there, it's done, which is good, and we'll be booting it up shortly. I just wanted to show you some of the peripherals that are going with this budget build here for Chloe. First up, we've got the monitor. It's just an AOC 22-inch 1080p monitor. The big thing with this is when it came, it was actually black. The reason being is to find a white monitor in a budget build within price was really difficult. So a couple of spray cans later, after disassembling it, it's white, it's matching the case, it's working well with that painted GPU. That's what we've got here. In addition to that then, we've also got a keyboard. So you've not seen this yet, have you?
No.
So this is our red switched RGB 60% gaming keyboard, like so. It's quite nice. Individually adjustable RGB with a metal backplate as well, and just a basic cable. It isn't braided, but that's all good. In there you've got a couple of spare key caps and a cap puller. And then we've also got the mouse here, which is a Red Dragon mouse, which I'm sure you guys have heard of before. And funnily enough, guess what colour it is?
White.
Yeah, it's white. Okay, so let's pop this open so you can see it. So there we go. Again, it's got that RGB goodness. We're only going to get the FPS we need with some RGB. So there we go, to go with it. If you're actually looking for any of these products, specifically the peripherals, there will be links in the video description below, so make sure you do check them out. And then the final piece has to be a decent headset. So you've actually got the pink Razer Kraken headset, so congratulations to you. A really, really good quality headset to get us started. So what do you think so far?
Awesome.
Good, I'm glad. Harder or easier to build than you thought?
In the middle.
Okay.
Certain aspects were hard, but certain were fairly
Which
straightforward.
was the difficult bit?
That bit.
That bit, okay, putting the cooler on, super. For me it was cable management, that was a challenge, but the thing is it can be fiddly. It can be fiddly to build a PC, but on the whole it's clipped together. As long as you're buying the right components in the first place, you shouldn't have any problem. We won't bore you with the next bit, so what we're going to do, we're going to get it all plugged in and powered up, and then we'll bring you guys back once it's all set up and you can see it in all its glory. Right guys, so there we have it. We're all set up, booted. It actually did boot first time. I kind of wish I'd shown you guys that, but it did boot first time, didn't it?
Yeah.
No problems at all, which is all fine. I hope you really like the setup. Chloe, what do you think?
I love it.
Good. I'm really glad.
Yeah.
I'm really glad, and I'm glad that you're happy with it. And it's a gift from us here at That Random Geeky Guy to you. And yeah, I hope you have many, many, many hours of fun with it. You've even got this lovely pink unicorn mouse mat to make sure it all fits in. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for joining us for this video. This is a budget build. In the description, I'll talk about costs for you, so you can have an understanding of what this kind of cost to put together, and whether or not it's something that you're looking to try and do as well as links to any of the parts that you see that are used. Other than that, I guess thank you very much for joining us for this video. If you've got any questions at all about this build, stick it in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you dislike it, put a thumbs down. Whatever feedback you've got, that'll be great. Until next time, from me, thank you very much, and from Chloe,
Goodbye.
bye guys, take care.